Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Good evening to each and everyone. First, let me know, am I audible and visible properly? Let me know in the comment section. Okay. Rose, Purab, Sapro, Asim, Vijay, Skyboon. Cool. Awesome. So let other people join as well. Stream. So let me tell let me tell you about the agenda of this stream. As you can see in the thumbnail and even in the title, I want to keep it as in like open ended as in uh, whatever things you want to ask with respect to the big data domain, right? So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I will be answering all those things because I remember I'm going to do this type of live. My God, something wrong with the lightings. Just a moment. Just a moment. All right, it's back. Yep. So the agenda I was talking about, it it is all about asking anything. So whatever questions you want to ask, because I did this type of live stream very long back, but now you will be having a lot of questions for me. So I thought, why not to have it? And before going into the actual Q&A part, I can see almost 100 people are already watching this stream. So announcement, as you already know, if you have seen our previous video, so we have launched our own platform, www.growdataskills.com, and I have launched my very first fast track data engineering bootcamp as well, which will be of 3 months, and it is going to start on 3rd of June. So the point is, like what you can get from this live stream as well. So the early bird offer which we have, it will be expiring today itself, 11:59 p.m. IST. So you can visit and you can utilize that coupon code if you are intended to move into the data engineering and you feel so, because that fast track data engineering bootcamp is from the basics. So you will be learning there completely and end to end with practical, with projects, everything will be there. So let me give you this thing. All right, so maybe in the chat box you can find it, and maybe I will pin this one as well. Just a moment. Else you can visit the www.growdataskills. So as I said, 21st it will be expiring. But yeah, let me start and go over with the questions. Uh, and whosoever have joined recently, hello to everyone. Okay, so question from this one: is it possible to be job ready within 3 months? Absolutely. So our main aim is to teach the relevant things, right? I've been into those curriculums where they are very extensive, and the main drawback which you can say that I felt is uh, folks start losing the track. That actually happens. Let's say you are into a very extensive boot camp or course something, so even I have seen after 1.5 month people start losing their track and motivation because the time window is very big. And even why those like let's say 9 to 12 months of boot camps, what happens there, um, mostly just to extend the length of the boot camp, few unnecessary things will be included. And as a beginner, if you want to get into these kind of job profiles, especially the data engineering, why not to study the relevant things first, like focus on the relevant thing, and apart from that, it is all about the opportunities. As soon as you go into the industry, you will get those type of opportunity to excel your skills. That's what even I did when I took my move from software engineering to data engineering. I was having very basic knowledge of Hadoop only, very basic Spark, and very basic understanding of SQL. And with the help of only those 3 to 4 skill set, I was able to take a move from software engineering to data engineering, and that too in company like Paytm. So if I can do that, so same agendas, this is my same vision, whatever curriculum I have prepared and whatever time window I have decided, that is personally based on my experience in the industry, what I have seen, what companies are asking to me, and what kind of things we are using on day to day basis, and what kind of things we are doing on day to day basis. So it's highly possible. How to get remote job through open source in data engineering field. Talking about the open source contribution, so with respect to data engineering, it's not much there. If you are specifically asking for the data pipeline sort of project, so it's not there. But let's say you are using any platform, so the good examples like any orchestration tool. So recently you have seen that, like I've been talking about the Mage, right? And Mage is what? It's an open source orchestration platform. It is open source, so if you are open source contributor, you want to contribute that one, those things you can definitely do. But if you think that there is any open source data pipelining project, so it is not there. And in order to get the job, I would suggest to watch one of the podcast which I had few months back. There I actually invited someone who got his first job as a data engineer, that too completely like remote. So I would highly recommend to watch that podcast. And again, for the new audience, right, so the coupon code for the bootcamp will be expiring today. Again, I am sending this link in the chat box, so I want maximum people to use this opportunity. So you can look at it, you can go through the curriculum. I have prepared it based on my personal experience. Next question, what all technologies I should learn to get a good command over data science? So even for this one, I would say that would be a repetitive thing. I have already created extensive roadmap video on my channel, and even time to time I was having like good podcasts with those folks who already made into the data science domain. So you can go through it, because you will get a very mixed experience and their thought perspective as well, like as a data scientist, what they are using and what they have been doing. So it is already there, but basic things like we already know the good command on the programming language, especially the Python or R. SQL, very much important. Understanding of databases, very much important. NoSQL understanding, and Spark is there, which you should definitely know. And coming to the mathematics part as well, statistics part as well, exploratory data analysis is there, machine learning part is there. And in the beginning you might be thinking you are supposed to explore each and everything in the data science, like deep learning and neural networks and too many complex steps. But in the beginning, I would say that won't be required. So go with the baby steps. At least first uh, try to work on the fundamentals and make sure your groundwork is done. And on top of that, you can add more and more things like the deep learning part, computer vision, right, and the neural networks related thing, and many more new things which are coming in the machine learning and the data science thing. All right. Next question, sir. In project, what are the questions do interviewer ask for the freshers? So that's a good question. Talking about the what type of questions interviewer ask when it comes to the projects, right, or the design round. So there can be two ways of it. Like there can be two ways of asking this thing. First, interviewer will simply go through with your resume and will check like what all projects you have done. Or the interviewer can say that, let's say XYZ, whatever is your name, okay, Asim. So what he can say that, Asim, what kind of project you have worked so far? Like let's say you have a few years of experience, or let's say complete fresher as well, right? And you are doing a hands-on project, so he can ask what type of projects you have built, and among those projects, what do you think, what is the best project you have worked so far? So tell me about that project, the architecture, what was the business use case, how much data you were actually processing, what was the business use case, and what kind of challenges did you face, and how you contributed in that project, and what value your contribution actually added in that project. So these type of questions the interviewer will be asking. And once you start explaining your project, let's say the architecture diagram, the tech stack, right, the interviewer will start asking the cross questions as well. Let's say you used Cassandra in your project or the architecture, so he may ask, why not MongoDB, right? Why not something else? So you should come up with a proper justification, what was the reason of using something. And as I said, for the projects part, it's very important you should know end to end things about the project. Whatever project you have built, you should not put any such project in your resume where you think that your knowledge is incomplete and you are not even comfortable talking about it. So that's how it is going to be. And another way of this type of question, he can give you a simple problem from his side itself. Let's say build a data pipeline which should be real time and capturing the data of user activity, right, from some web portal. So something like that it can be. So moving on to the next question, Aryan, will the course be only in English? Yep. So the current bootcamp which I have launched, that will be in English, because that's how more and more people will be able to understand and will be able to get some value from this bootcamp. All right, next question. I want to become a data analyst, but I don't know where to start. I want a clear roadmap. If you have already posted any videos, means yes, I have already created the roadmap video for the data analyst profile. So Vijay, you can watch that one. So question from Rajat sir, placement assistance will be there in the bootcamp. So see, as a platform, we have just started our journey, and right, if you have seen my launch video there, I have also mentioned this thing. We are not a firm believer of faking anything, right? We are not someone who love to put fake things on the platform, right? We will be giving you this and that. No, as a platform, in the beginning, whatever we can cover, we are covering. We are doing our best on that part. And as I said, grow data skills is the platform, and our vision is to help the data professional to actually grow their skills so that they are interview and job ready at the same time itself. But obviously I know this placement assistant part is very much important, and we desperately want to do that. So definitely I am working hard on it. I am in touch with multiple hiring partners and trying to have a conversation with them. So definitely, maybe not, let's say in this month, maybe not next to next month, but yes, the target is in just couple of months we will be bringing the placement assistance as well. But at least in this current boot camp, it is not there. And you never know, if in between of the boot camp we are able to bring the hiring partners, then definitely those hiring partners will be getting your profiles, shortlisting, and the interviews. I have completed the basic Python pre-read. Shall I move to pandas now? And yes, you should move on to the pandas. Question from Deepak, does data science has scope? Yes, answer is definitely yes. All right, next question. JP17, high level coding is required in data engineering or not? Coding is definitely required in the data engineering space. So when it comes to the data engineering, especially, a good understanding of programming is needed. Not like that means if you go for the software engineering type of interviews, hard level of coding questions will be there. So it's not like that. But yeah, easy to medium level of programming is very much required, because ultimately we will be coding the things, right? We need to code the things, so it's definitely important. Question from Wahed. Hi Shashank, is this bootcamp enough for data engineering role to apply, or else we need to learn? Yeah, that is good enough. I would definitely say that. And as I said, this is something which I have prepared based on my personalized experience working in different companies and also interviewing at different companies. So the core skills we are going to cover. We are not going to focus on any irrelevant thing or unnecessary thing just to like extend the window of the boot camp. We are not going to focus on those things, so it's definitely good enough. Can a hotel management graduate become data analyst after having more than 3 years experience as an assistant restaurant manager? So, Vinay, the simple answer for these type of question is it is always possible. It's not like that. It's a impossible thing. And why I'm saying that, because I have done a podcast with such type of folks on my channel itself, where they moved from the sales background or from the teacher background or a field engineer type of jobs to the data analyst. It is all about the motivation. And also, first you should ask this question to yourself as well. If you want to move into the data analyst, then what is the motivation behind it, what is the main reason behind it, and why you want to actually do that, right? And once you are able to get the answer for those questions, then you should prepare yourself. You should be self motivated to get into this tech industry. Because what happens with the majority of people, they start very aggressively, right? They are very enthusiastic and they think, yes, we'll be able to do that. But in between, when they actually deep dive into the curriculum and the course, whatever it is, right, or whatever they are learning, they completely feel lost, and that is the point where they start quitting it. So you should like first make up your mind what is the actual intention behind it, and whether you actually want to do that or not. If you have the answers for it, then like it's definitely possible to move into it. There is no doubt about that. All right. And you guys can join our Telegram community as well. So in order to ask any question to me related to the boot camp or anything, you can join the Telegram community as well. I have shared the link in the chats. And the links are also provided in the description of this live stream. So you can get it from there as well if chat is missed. Is it possible to be job ready in 3 months? But usually for data engineering position, they ask DSN coming from non-coding background, being DSA ready. As I said, I'm personally sharing my experience in uh, like I have interviewed in every type of company, be it service, consulting, like the product based firm, startup, right, fang level companies. And honestly speaking, for the data engineering role, the level of questions, right, at least for the coding and DSA type, will not be more than the moderate level. It will always lie between the easy to medium. And talking about my experience of interviewing for this one, maximum time the interviewers only touched upon the string arrays and some logical problem to solve with the help of Python or the language of my preference, right? And in either just one interview, somebody asked a question from a very easy level of dynamic programming. So that was there, right? That's why I'm saying it is like you should not worry much about it. You are not supposed to be a pro-rated coder or something to just go into the data engineering domain. You should have a good understanding of programming. That's it. What is the best and the most in demand tool for big data end-to-end projects? So Spark, Apache Spark is something which has become the mandatory skill set for the data engineers nowadays. So if you go through with this Spark, there will be a good project to work on it as well. So this is recommended. What will be the weekly commitment required for completing this boot camp? Weekly commitment is your consistency. Even per day, if you are only able to spend 1.5 hours and two, that would be more than enough. But it is all about being consistent, and whatever we are teaching in the live class, you need to focus on that part. and the quizzes and assignments which we'll keep on giving, all those things will be very helpful for you if you are doing it consistently. All right. Again, hi Shashank, I go through the coding courses, but when I solve any problem on any platform, I just connect the concepts to solve the questions, what I can do. So it is all about, see, programming is definitely something which comes with the practice. So since you are going through with multiple problem statement, try to break it down in the smaller pieces, first of all. And even before going to the solutions part, right? Just try to focus on the important keywords and try to focus on the constraint, and even going or investing your too much of time just to think about the you can say the best optimized approach. Try to focus more on how you can do it with the naive approach, very basic approach. So even if you hear about any question, you look at it. So do not probably jump onto the main solution instantly. Try to basically do it try to basically do it with the basic approach first of all, and then after that you can move on to the most optimized one. So this is how you should actually proceed slowly and gradually. All right, so let me fix this one, just a moment. All right. What is the difference between big data engineer and Azure data engineer? So there is no difference as such. Their core skills are same. The only difference is the Azure data engineer is supposed to work on the Azure platform, right? Azure cloud platform, in order to build the data pipelines, right? That's the only difference. Else their core skills and everything are same. There's no difference as such on that part. Next question. Shashank, my job profile is PL SQL developer, but I'm working as support. I have average to good knowledge about SQL. Guide me how to become a data engineer. So Saurabh, as I said, I have prepared I have even created the roadmap videos on my channel. So if you want to go via the self-study mode, you can definitely follow that roadmap. But in order to help the aspiring data engineers, I have even started my own bootcamp as well. So you can look into it. But both is something you can look into. Moving on to the next question. I have 1 year of experience as a full stack ROR developer. Then I get laid off. I tried my hands in business. By the coming August, I will have 2 years of gap. Will I be considered freshers again? Actually, not. You will not be considered as a fresher because uh, at least you started your career in the tech world itself, so you have some prior experience. And in between, like everybody does it, they probably go through with some personal problems, or they have some different things to do in between. So you can be honest when you appear in the interviews, or a recruiter reach out to you. You can be honest on that part, that what was the reason to have that 2 years of gap. But to give your answer in simple words, no, you will not be treated as a fresher. You will be on the entry level fresher, because looking at your tech experience itself, right, 1 year experience in the full stack, so you will be on the entry level freshers side, who is having 1 or 2 years of experience. Vishal, this boot camp is for beginners or intermediate? So it is for both. It is for both. All right. Why this course content is very less? So the course content is not less. Maybe I'm not sure you heard about the conversation in the beginning. So as I said, after going through with all the realities, the pain points which I able to figure out for the students, uh, and very, very extensive, lengthy boot camp is something which most of the people would not like to prefer, because people start losing the track, and sometimes irrelevant things also gets added in the curriculum just to extend the curriculum and the course or the boot camp length. And based on my personalized experience, whatever I feel are the actual core skills of the data engineers, and what companies are asking, and what is being asked in the interviews, and what we are using in our day to day activities, I have included that one. And see, the point is, learning 30, 50, or 100 skills is something which is not important. Even if you have clearly focused on 5 to 6 or max to max 10 skill set, that is like more than enough, very good. Okay, it's not like if you in the industry 100 skill sets are in the trends, so you should have a mastery on each of the 100 skill set, right? It's not like that. Your target should be, you should focus on the core, and your core skills should be your expertise first, and rest of the experiences you will be getting in the industry itself. As soon as you work on more problem statement and projects, you will get that one. So that's the simple answer. Sir, non-tech zero coding knowledge can do this. Definitely, they can. And as I said, the programming part is something which time to time you will see in each module, right? Let's say we are coding something for Spark, we are coding something for Kafka or Cassandra. So at least Python program will be going through with the entire code base. I will be explaining each and every lines, and even to help the audience with the basic understanding of Python, we are giving the pre-reads as well. So that is something which can help you before even starting the bootcamp. So क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम दीपेश, भैया एप्टीट्यूड किस लेवल का पूछा जाता है, डेटा इंजीनियर या डेटा एनालिस्ट? So for the data engineering role, aptitude questions will not be there, but yes, for the data analyst role, guesstimate questions and the case study based questions will be there. So you need to focus on it. So mostly you should focus on the business case studies that will be asked more in the interviews for the data analyst role. And aptitude question are like not you can say, do not relate with the typical aptitude or reasoning type of questions which you probably see in the competitive exams or the government exams. It will be much more related to the data analysis, right? So these type of things you need to focus, and primarily you should focus more on the business case studies. Question from Nitesh: will it be possible into data engineer with 6+ of experience in automation testing using Java Selenium? What would I show in the terms of experiences in this area? So Nitesh, you can probably do two things. First thing is, since you already have the programming background, at least, right? Although you are in testing, but at least using the programming languages. So if you have a good interest in the data, so first try to focus on the core skills and acquire the main skill set. And then next thing what you can do, you can try to take the internal move. So in your organization, if you find different teams who are working on the big data related projects, and you have already worked on your core skills, you have acquired those relevant skill set, so you can have a conversation with that manager, with that team, that I am interested in it and I can contribute, and I have these many skill set I already acquired. So this is one way. And second way, as you said, for you, getting the opportunity outside your current organization might be little bit challenging, because if they will see that your more experience was in the testing, but you acquired your data engineering skill set, you worked on some projects, so that time it is more about your convincing power, right? How effectively you are able to convince the organization and the interviewers that you can add the values as a data engineer. So it's definitely possible, right? Candidates are being given chances in the companies, right? It is all about the motivation. If you have it, you have acquired the right skill set, that then it is definitely very much possible. I already answered it. Question: any upcoming courses bootcamp on data engineering which includes Azure? So yes, Srinath, we are definitely planning that one as well. Probably bringing a full-fledged Azure data engineering bootcamp. So yeah, we are working on it in the background. So sooner it will be there on the platform. Question from Vishal: I have gained the skills required for data engineer, but every posting I see on is for I'm not getting any fresher opportunity. So Vishal, I would suggest you should target the startups and the service-based companies, because finding the opportunity as a fresher in those type of companies is much more easy than targeting big tech firms. So that's how you can proceed. All right, moving on to the next question. What is the time frame for the course? In how many months it will be? So the boot camp which we are targeting, it is all about 3.5 months. So this is the time window we have targeted. All right, next question. Zubeda B, are we learning in depth in new batch? Yeah, I mean, focusing on the core skills, we have the limited set of the topics, right? And the tech skills. So definitely we'll be touching upon the depth of it, not just the creamy layer of it. Next question. To get into data engineering, we need to be a data analyst. No, that's not mandatory. That's not even important. Even if you belong to software engineering background, you can easily move into it. All right, next question. Vishal Rathore, congratulations on your first course. Thank you, Vishal. My question: will this bootcamp be providing placement support? So, Vishal, I guess I already answered this question previously. That on which track we are with respect to the placement assistant. So sooner it will be there, but since it was not there before starting the boot camp, so not included anywhere in the boot camp or our platform. As soon as we progress, even in between of the boot camp, if we are able to bring good hiring partners, definitely those enrolled students will be getting the opportunities. And this is one of the biggest action item for me on my platform to bring this support. So yeah, we are working really hard on it. Moving the next questions. I can see repeated questions. All right. So question from Raghav. Seen your most of the videos, and also placement season is coming in next 3 to 4 months. So can you list companies that will hire fresher as a data engineer and will give more than 10 LPA? Sure, Raghav. I will definitely create a video listing down these type of companies. So thanks for asking this. And yeah, I guess this would be a good topic for a video as well to create. So thanks for that. All right, Kaveri, I am planning to AWS. Can you please suggest any resource and roadmap? So, if you are targeting the AWS with respect to big data related job profiles or something like that, so for that one, you can even check my bootcamp as well. So there I have included the AWS. And if not, you want to go while self-study mode, I have created videos regarding the AWS certifications and even complete roadmap for the AWS. You can go through it. And talking about the platform, so you can go through on Cloud Guru. So they are teaching everything completely on AWS. So you can have a look at that one as well, the Cloud Guru. So next question. How to contribute open source as data engineer? So this is what I already talked about. If you are specifically looking for those open source projects which are around some data pipelining, so at least for data engineering, this is something which is not there. But if you are interested to contribute on some data engineering platforms, right? Not data engineering platform, basically tools or the platforms which you are using in the uh, data engineering. So for that one, you can definitely do, right? So those organizations have made their code open source, and you can basically work on the contribution part. So that's how. All right. What is the median salary of freshers and 1 year experience guys in D? So the median salary is somewhere between 7 to 10 LPA. This is what I have seen for the freshers, at least starting from 2022 and 2023. So yeah, this is the median salary. I want to move from data analyst role to data engineer role. I have good knowledge in SQL and Power BI. Would I get data engineering role? Absolutely, Shubham. So for you, the plus point is you already have a good background in data, right? Data, when I'm saying, means uh, you are already having the good understanding of the data analyst related thing, which will definitely help you in your data engineering journey, right? So you need to focus more on the core skill sets of the data engineering. Rest of the things you already know really well. So yeah, that's the point. All right, so moving on to next question. All right. All right. Looking at the questions, repeated questions. I guess we already answered it. When can we expect the data analyst bootcamp? So this is something we are working, and things have been finalized. So maybe in just a couple of weeks, you will hear the announcement for the data analyst bootcamp as well. Next question is Spark includes programming. So yes, Spark includes programming. So in Spark, basically, this is something which is a computation engine, right? So you need to code in these kind of platforms just to do the distributed computation. So definitely, it's very much important and very much required. So Python, Java, Scala, any of the programming language can be used, and that's how it is being. All right, next question. I have 1.5 years of support executive experience for SSIS. How can I transform myself into data engineer? So following the core skill set, having a good expertise on it, and working on the good projects, that is how you can transition your career from this support role to the data engineer. So yeah, this is what. And as I said, I have already created roadmap videos. You can go through it, and if you feel that some sort of support is needed, then you can check out the bootcamp as well. And as I said, early bird offer is going to expire today, in just a couple of hours. So make sure to use this opportunity. All right. Question from Arka Biswas. Who are demand in the market? Data engineer, analyst, data scientist among them. So each of these job profiles are in the demand of the big data, because uh, each of them are like working in a collaboration, and right, their responsibilities, their work is very much important when it comes to any company who wants to take their data driven business decisions. So talking about the data engineers, they build the data pipeline. Their engineering excellence is actually needed in order to create those type of scalable pipelines. and they transform the data. Once it is available in the downstream system, it will be consumed by the data scientist folks in order to in order to solve the complex data mysteries. And on the other hand, data analyst will be using that data in order to create the dashboards and to visualize that data, to represent that data in front of the stakeholders. So their roles are very much connected together, they work together. That's why even their demand is very much high. All right, so moving on to next question from Samir. Sir, can a non-tech mechanical engineer student can do this course having zero coding background? So absolutely right, Samir. Even telling about my experiences working with different data scientists, analysts, and data engineers, a lot of them even came from the non-tech type of background, right? In their colleges, probably they were in the ECE or civil, these type of engineering backgrounds, but at then somehow they were able to made into it, because it is all about related to the data and analytics, which is much more fact based. So this type of transition is very much possible. And talking about the coding background part, so this thing definitely can come with the experiences. And as I said, at least in our boot camp, we are giving those pre-reads, so that before starting the boot camp, you guys are able to look into it and just get the basic understanding of it. So as I said, basic understanding is needed. It's not like that you need to be a pro in it and then you can get into this boot camp. All right, how to do hands-on practice, sir? So for hands-on practices, at least for the data engineering part, what you can do, you can pick the common case studies, right? Try to replicate those type of pipelines. And as I said, right, data engineering is not like creating a website, right? If let's say talking about the uh, web application project, so what you can do, you can work on the back end, front end, and everything, and you can host it somewhere, right? But this is not the case with the data engineering part. So it's not like this is a website which you can host somewhere, but this is understood by the organization and companies as well, right? So even in the interviews, if you are a fresher, so their expectation is not like that you should have a like very practical understanding of it, how it will work in the production. But at least in your local machine, or if you have a free tier cloud account, right, it can be AWS, Azure, or anything. So at least there you should definitely try out small use cases, right? Building the data pipeline first. You can start like some data in the MySQL database, and in between you are consuming that data with the help of 𝗫_spark from the source, and then processing it and then dumping it into the downstream system. So that is how you can start and slowly gradually start reading the tech uh, like tech pages of different companies. So talking about Google, Uber, Facebook, Microsoft, Misho, most of the companies have their own tech blogs and tech pages where they keep on posting interesting problems and even high level overview of the common use cases which they have solved, their architecture diagram, all those things. So you can go through with that one as well. That will be helpful for the good understandings. All right. So next question, live classes in Zoom or what? So yes, in our boot camp, everything is going to be live, and classes will be on the weekends. And in case there is any need of the extra classes, that will be conducted in the weekdays after office hours. And each weekend, after the live teaching class, there will be live doubt solving session will be as well, and even the doubt support will be provided on the chat, right? The private groups of Telegram, so that will be there. And it will be live, but any in case, right, you are not able to join the live class and you miss that particular class, so recording will be there. All right, so quickly going through the next questions. Scala versus Python for D. Both are good. If you get the opportunities to work with Scala for the D, definitely leverage it. Uh, but Python, as I said, why? Because that has been accepted as a universal language in the data community as of now. So if you go ahead with Python, your task will be more easy. How it will be? Let's say after 2 3 years, you got very much interested in the data science domain. So what you will do, you can easily make that transition. But let's say you did not touch the Python at all and you were only working on Scala as a data engineer, then moving into analyst or the data science or ML engineer role would be little bit difficult, because there the languages like Python and R are very much popular because of their extensive support of the cool and complex libraries, right? So that's how you can decide. All right, so going through with remaining questions. Hi Shashank, what's your call on zero ETL and ETL gaining so much popularity? So zero ETL is nothing but a concept, right? Concept as in where you are not putting your so much effort into coding the things, right? So when we talk about the typical data engineering work, there we need to code, right? As I said, Spark is a framework where distributed computation will happen, but for that one you need to write a code, right? So zero ETL or the low code ETL pipelines is basically about those platforms which are providing the pre-built or inbuilt templates or drag and drop kind of features, just to use them quickly and your pipeline is ready. So for an example, you want to make a you want to read the data from MySQL, and then you want to apply some transformation, let's say filter and the group by, and you want to write that data into the Cassandra, right? So if you want to create this pipeline and extensively just with the data engineering route, so you need to code, right? You need to write the code for how to set up the connection with MySQL, bringing the incremental data, all those things, and then writing the code for filtering the data, grouping by, and then writing the code for dumping that data in the Cassandra. But these platforms will provide you those functionalities inbuilt, or a simple drag and drop feature where you will go in the connection tab, and in the connection MySQL connection tab, or the option is available. So just pick it up and all the configurations are there. You just need to provide the value, but there you do not need to focus more on the coding side of it, like how to write that code to make the MySQL connections and all. So that's how it is going to be easy. Question from Lugia. I am experienced as an Linux admin will be useful in data engineering. Yes, because most of the time what happens, even when we are deploying, right, or uh, our machines, right, our clusters, basically those will be our Linux boxes. So we need to log in there. We need to uh, we need to basically run the HDFS commands, and even to execute any services. All those things will be required. So experience with Linux is definitely good to have. Question from Omkar: working in cloud more than 1 year, is this bootcamp will help me in switching to D? Yes, Omkar, it will definitely help. All right, so going through with other questions. If we enroll in this bootcamp, we'll be getting a one-on-one mentorship session. Yes, anytime you need, you can definitely ping me, or you can put a note that you want to have a discussion with me. We'll definitely arrange a time. All right, going through with other questions. Sir, does statistics will be studied? No, statistics is definitely not needed. At least for the data engineering side, that's not needed. It's very much important for the data science and analyst role. I have worked in Databricks plus S3 for 2+ years. Is it a good idea to explore Azure Databricks platform? Yep, it is, because most of the companies have started adapting it. So it's definitely good to go. Can I get remote job in data engineering roles? I have 2 years of experience. Yes, Molly, you can get it. You can watch one of the podcasts which I created with our guest speaker, who also got his first job as a data engineer, that too remote. So you can learn from him. How would be the mode of teaching? It will be live classes. Already talked about it. How much DevOps skills are required for data engineer? So very minimal, because when we specifically talk about the well-established firms, so there they will be having a separate team, right? DevOps team and the infrastructure team, which will be taking care of it. So that's how it can be. But you are not supposed to deep dive too much into the DevOps thing, being a data engineer. So, question: how will this bootcamp help someone who is aspiring for a data science role? So, obviously, right, the curriculum is much more oriented towards the data engineering. So, few things can be helpful, maybe to add a value in your skill set. As I'm teaching the SQL, that is also required and important in the uh, data science part. AWS, that is important. Hive, right? Data scientist, time to time they use the Hive as well. And Spark, right? Spark is something. So the thing which we will be doing, that will be related to the data engineering. Even in the Spark, will the code will be writing. But as a platform, you should definitely know Spark, how it works, the architecture, and all those things. So these are the few things which can be helpful, which definitely overlaps. But yeah, it's up to you what is your main aspiration, and accordingly you can decide. Have you how much data knowledge is required for data engineering role? Easy to medium level, not more than that. The projects which we are going to do in this bootcamp are real time. Can we add this project to our resume? Yes, definitely. Those will be industry level projects, and you can definitely add it in your resume. Question from Karan Raj. I have 5 years of experience in PLSQL and want to join it. How I can show previous company experience as a new data engineer? So your PLSQL experience, at least it is somewhere around the data, right? So that can be used, that can be leveraged, but you need to decide in those 5 years what most interesting things you did in the PLSQL, and only try to showcase that one in the resume. Rest of the things you should showcase related to the data engineering projects which will be done. So yeah, that's how. Should a 15 years experience person try changing the data engine profile, or not good idea? uh, it is, I mean, I have seen people doing these type of career transition, but at least at this experience level, even if you transition in the data engineering profile, right, maybe you will not be going into the core development, because industry will look towards you as a experienced candidate who can lead the things, like lead data engineer, or even at least this experience level, you can even expect the managerial role as well, maybe a manager, a data engineering manager, or something like that. So I guess at least at this experience level, you can definitely try to figure out what is your importance, and what you are actually looking for. Either you are looking for those leadership type of roles, or senior architect type of roles, or you actually want to go into the core development. So based on that you can decide. And yeah, transition is possible, no doubt about that. But why you want to do it, at least at this experience level, this is a question you can ask. Bhushan, course recorded lecture available for how many months after the course? And it will be available till 1 year. What are the main topics of data engineering? I have already created a roadmap video. You can go through it. Moving the questions, Shudhanshu, how much Python is required to complete this bootcamp? Easy to medium understanding. That would be good and more than enough, I would say. All right. I'm a fresher and I want some tips and suggestions to become data analyst. So Pragna, I have created roadmap video. You can go through it. That roadmap video is extensive and it will give you a good idea about all the important skill sets. I'm confused to take data engineering or data science course. So, Shubham, for this one, as I said, even in my videos, you have always heard these things. Always prioritize your interest. Do not go or do not follow anything blindly. Maybe someone from data engineering background is emphasizing more in data engineering, so that's why you are taking it. No, you should ask this question to yourself: what excites you more, data science or data engineering? Then you can definitely check it. Question: will the videos be recorded as well? Yes. uh, the each live class will be recorded, so in case you miss anything, you can watch it again. How much we will be getting paid as a fresher in data engineering with 1+ years of experience as web data analyst? As I said, median salaries, at least at this moment, it's definitely 7 to 10 LPA. So that range is achievable, and if you have some prior experiences, this can even touch up to the 15 LPA as well. All right. Jatin Segal, will the project contain EMR? Yes, EMR project will be there, and glue jobs will be there. Kinesis will be there. Yes. Shanmuga, I have a knowledge in Scala. So, is there any prerequisite that I need to know in depth knowledge? No, if you have the basic medium understanding of Python, that's more than enough. Not in depth understanding is needed. So this is Kumar from USA. The bootcamp which is scheduled, will it be for USA people since the timing are different? It is actually oriented towards the Indian audience most. So timings are actual accordingly set. So maybe if you are interested and if it's not late for you, you can attend the live classes, and if not, then as I said, recording of each class will also be there. All right. Cool. So I guess I have answered most of the questions, and it's already Sunday night, so won't be taking much of your time. And just last 1 minute, I'll be spending there in the live. So going for this one, maybe initially the conversations we were having, right? uh, Talking about the boot camp, and I have given the understanding of it. I have even created a video for that one, so you can check that video where I have talked about the boot camp in detail, everything including the curriculum, why something is included, why something is not included. So you can watch that video, and again I'm repeating the this part, right? This is going to be end in just couple of hours, this early bird offer. So maybe you can leverage this opportunity. All right. So yep. All right, I guess it was a very nice session, guys. I hope you find it helpful, and sooner I will try to conduct few more live sessions. These kind of ask me anything. This time actually I was traveling, and you can see right the backgrounds and all. I'm basically having this live session from there. Next time when I'll be at my home, then yeah, that live stream will be much more interesting, and it will be longer as well. But yeah, for today at least, this is what I had. So thank you guys, thank you so much for joining, and I hope I was able to answer most of your queries. Whatever is left, and if I was not able to answer, then the Telegram community link is provided in the description. You can join the Telegram community and you can ask the questions there. I will be uh, resolving your queries, and even the bootcamp link and all those things are provided in the description. So you can check that out. So thank you guys. Thank you so much for joining. Bye bye. Good night.